7 checkered flags, but only one winner. Nick Ludicky is unstoppable and continues to expand his point lead at the top of the standings. Welcome to the Pacific Challenge Cup Series on Pit Stop TV. Emerson Arden with JP Costa alongside and Trey Shuttlesworth out around the racetrack grabbing photos for us this evening for our social media coverage. It's the penultimate round of Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series action, and joining you on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter this evening from virtual Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. JP, let's go ahead and take a look at our track map coming into tonight's race. And man, these 12 corners, these are some of the most iconic 12 corners in American road racing.
These are definitely one of my top 5 favorite 12 corners. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite because obviously Interlagos has a special place in my heart. But even though it's a small 2.5 mile, 4 kilometer racetrack, it's one of the most difficult circuits on iRacing in my opinion. Drivers are going to be heading flat out, obviously, into turn 1. A really difficult kind of corner, you know, you have to take the right speed, the right angle, otherwise you're either going to be running off too wide or not taking the appropriate amount of speed. As they head uphill into turn 2 and turn 3, a blind right-hander, extremely difficult to get it right, otherwise you can easily cut it. And then head downhill into the S's of turn 4, the very fast sequence, downhill sequence. And then turn 5, in my opinion, one of the most difficult corners in iRacing. You really have to attack this corner in order to, I guess, extract the best time possible on the racetrack, but it's so easy to get the car bottom out and throw yourself into the barrier and essentially ruin your race as they head into a small straight of turn 6 and then a very small straight and a heavy braking zone on turn 7 into a 90-degree corner after they head into the absolutely massive and, in my opinion, the best overtaking zone in this racetrack. 2 small kinks, turn 9 and 10, pretty easy, and then a heavy downhill braking zone into turn 10 chicane, turn 10A and 10B, uphill, and then downhill into turn 11 and 12. Sounds easy, but we all know in practice it's a whole different level.
Oh man, especially turn 12, that can really catch you out. Just because it leads onto that front straightaway. You want to get all you can, but man, that grass will run up on you quick on that corner exit. Once again, want to say this is, you know, the penultimate round of the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Again, joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter this evening. Myself, Emerson Arden, alongside with JP Costa and Trey Shuttlesworth out around the track, grabbing our photos for our social media coverage this evening. Tonight, again, the penultimate round of the Porsche Challenge, the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series. Here's our point standings, and well, Nick Ludecki's he's got himself a lead for sure. 7 checkered flags, like I said. We've had now 4 sprint races and the 3 feature races. Nick Ludicky has been absolutely on it in that number 16. Brady Lubin now 16, wow. 61 points back. Mikael Rudebush 84 back. James Hansen 91 back, and it gets a little tight there. He's got Corey Peters only 6 back. BC Voigt, he's only got 4 points on Wade Hayes there in that battle for 6th, who's tied with Chris Brunemer. And then back here for 9th place in points, David Flanagan only has 2 points over Cody Johnson. So a lot of inner battles in these point standings for us to be looking for into today's race. Now, JP, here's what we've already gone through, plus what we got tonight and next week. When you look at these 5 races, and you go, you know, from Germany to where Oran Park is, where Nürburgring is, then you go over to Oran Park, back to Germany for Hockenheim, and now into this little U.S. stretch of races, Road Atlanta and Laguna Seca. Man, this calendar has been quite the exciting one for sure. What do you make of these 5 races, and you know where Road Atlanta is tonight, and what we head to next week at Laguna Seca?
These are definitely tracks that I guess put the drivers in different amount of stress. Obviously, we do have Nürburgring and the Hockenheimring. Obviously, 2 racetracks that not only we saw in this league at the Pacific Challenge Cup Series, but we also see in, let's say, F1. It's a very different animal to tame than Oran Park, Road Atlanta, and Laguna Seca. Those tracks have extensive runoff areas. These 2 that I just mentioned, Oran Park and Road Atlanta, are completely different. They don't have runoff areas at all. They're extremely dangerous, I'd say, racetrack for your race, but you know, they're just fun all throughout the same. You know, Oran Park was a pleasant surprise for me. I was so happy to see the race there and it turned out to be perfect. Road Atlanta, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an instant classic in the Pacific Challenge Cup Series. And obviously next week, I mean, you can't go wrong in Laguna Seca, can you?
Absolutely not. Again, Road Atlanta, Laguna Seca, I think these are amazing picks for the schedule. 2 instant American road racing classics. You know, when you think of American road racing, you can think, the Watkins Glens, and then not too far behind is, tracks like Road Atlanta, Laguna Seca. So I'm very, very happy that they made it onto the schedule. So, speaking of schedule, again, last week featured a new type of format for these Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series events. And let's take a look at them. So this is what was introduced last week, and we ran through of it at Hockenheim, but if you weren't here with us at Hockenheim or you need a refresher, here it is. We have a 3, race format for you all tonight. Race 1, or Sprint Race 1, is a 15-minute sprint race, and that grade order is set by the 15-minute qualifying session that we are currently in the middle of right now. And this qualifying session again sets the order for Sprint Race Run. They run 15 minutes. At the end of those 15 minutes, take that finishing order at Sprint Race Run 1, completely flip that baby for Sprint Race 2, and that's how we will start that 15-minute section. We'll run it through 15 minutes, take that order once again, and flip it one more time for a 30-minute feature race. And then points, again, paid the same in the first 2 rounds with the extra sprint. As the same as the first 2 rounds with the extra sprint. And, man, that feature, it's where all the money lies, JP. What do you make of these?
These are obviously, they're an amazing add-on to the series. We saw Nick Ludicky since round 1, essentially asking for it. He thought it was going to make an interesting, I guess, like I always say, a spinner in the mix. And obviously the last week at Hockenheim, it was proven that it was an amazing add-on. And this week, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an extra spicy because Hockenheim, it's a relatively easy circuit to overtake when you compare to Road Atlanta. I mean, we went through the track map. You only have, I'd say, 3 realistic overtaking opportunities, maybe 2. So seeing, the big guns after the sprint race number 1, starting all the way from the back, is going to be an interesting challenging. Seeing obviously the drivers that may have struggled in sprint race number 1, starting at the front and handling the pressure from the faster guys, is definitely going to be interesting.
Absolutely. And well, now we've kind of, set out how, this season's gone, where we're at in the season, how tonight's going to go. We're going to take a quick break here, 6 minutes left in qualifying. We'll be right back on the flip side, and we will wrap up our qualifying coverage then. This is Pit Stop TV's coverage of the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series from Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome back to Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta here in Brazelton, Georgia for round number 4 and 5 for the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series here. And qualifying coming up to an end here, less than 2 minutes now on the timing sheet. And Nick Ludicky, again, top of the charts. That's not the surprise. But the gap at the top of the charts is what really is catching people out. I would say, and it's just how much more tight-knit it is at the top of the standings. Look at that top 6 within half a second, JP. I think we're in for a nice little showing tonight.
If the gap stays like this, and if the race pace, mimics qualifying pace, is definitely going to be a very, very interesting challenge for Nick, because, with that massive back straight, you can easily catch, I'm going to say 0.3 of a second, maybe 4 if you get a nice run. So pretty much the top 6 are in contention to sticking with one another with the slipstream, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Nick is going to defend on that massive straight, and well, if he can get a good start. So, I'm really looking forward for this first race, and obviously for the second and third one as well.
We're right on board now with Christian Gerges. Through VS is here. And again, very tight and technical section. If you can nail this and set yourself up, again, like you said, turn 5, probably one of the most important corners, one of the hardest corners on VI Racing Sim. And look at just how he attacks it right here. Eat that curbing on the left side, all over the curbing on the exit. And that's just, I think, I don't even know if that's as aggressive as you can take turn 5 in these cars. I haven't driven one of these cars in a little bit, but all I know is turn 5, you need to be all over that curbing, and he was just about like that.
Yeah, I'm not pretty sure who quoted it, but some famous race car driver said if everything looks too smooth, you're not going fast enough. And I'm gonna say if your car is not kicking around on the exit, you're probably not attacking as hard as you could be. But Christian Gerges is obviously taking probably a bit easier since he might be on a good lap.
Oh.
He's a second down on pole sitter. He unfortunately couldn't finish his lap, but some drivers are gonna be taking that corner a lot more aggressively.
Well, we will take that cue, and that means it is time to go through our starting lineup for tonight's, this is sprint race number 1, 15-minute sprint race. This is how they will line up. Nick Ludicky on the front row. That's not the surprise. Brady Lubinow, though, very close there in quali. In second to his outside. Row number 2, we'll find Curtis Jones and Mikkel Ruderbusch. Row number 3, James Hansen and Chris Brennemer. JP?
In row number 4, we do have in 7th place Wade Hayes, in 8th place Christian Gerges, who we were just on board with. In row number 5, we do have Corey Peters and David Flanagan on the outside lane. In 11th place, we do have BC Voigt, and on 12th place, the 17th of Jimmy Allen.
Well, those are our 12 drivers in as they have gridded up here on the front straightaway here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. We are awaiting pole sitter Nick Ludicky to grid up here, and we will get to the action right away. But before he does, let's take a look at the weather for tonight here at Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta. 80 degrees the air temp, 87 degrees the track temp. Not too hot. Winds 2 miles per hour out of the northeast, but I think it's time we're going here. JP, they're revving, and we are green from Road Atlanta. Gonna go around after taking a race lead from Nick Ludicky there in the S's. He's gonna get back going here. Good thing that the grid does reset. He should be okay later on, but if he had any chance at winning this this sprint race, it was not. it went away quick. He took that lead right away from Nick Ludicky, and just as quickly he lost it.
I cannot believe it. I was so excited to see Brady once again having an absolutely amazing start, but unfortunately for him, everything was lost on the exit of turn 3. But look at this, the grid is already battling through positions. Looks like someone in P2 made a small mistake on turn 5, because the gap to P1 is already 1.4 seconds. So at this point in time, I'm already gonna guess that no one is catching Nick on this racetrack unless he makes a mistake. But the grid is very tight as they battle not only for second but also for fourth.
Yeah, very tight-knit battles. Here comes the battle for fourth. This is Christian Gerges on Chris Brunnemer into the chicane. All over the inside curbing is Gerges. Chris Brunnemer will hold on to that 4th position, but for how long? The crossover from Gerges through 11, and now down to turn 12 to file back in line. Turn 12 again. This is kind of a deceiving corner depending on the car you're driving. You saw some grass blades get kicked up there from Chris Brunnemer's car. Back down into turn number 1. Gerges continues to look to the inside. Again, the battle for 4th here at Road Atlanta.
Christian Gerges looking like he has the pace. He's definitely being aggressive, but unfortunately for him, that aggressiveness costs him 1 position to Wade Hayes, who now jumps into P5, and Chris Brunnemer has at least some breathing space because, well, he was looking out of shape out of turn 7, but, well, he's now settled into P5, but looks like Wade Hayes might be giving him a run for his money.
Yep, everybody's single file now as they go through the S's a second time round, and really trying to see where everybody shapes up here. Maybe, you know, this is the first sprint race. Everybody's kind of learning their way around the track in race conditions this first time round. And it's really getting actually tight back here, all over each other back here. Corey Peters heading Jimmy Allen and Mikhail Ruderbush back here in the 9th, 10th, and 11th position. Actually, Ruderbush hanging back a little bit. Let's take another look here at Brady Lubin now. And there's some front end damage. Did he get front end damage in that initial accident?
No, I'm pretty sure that might be a follow-up, because if I recall, he just spun by himself and was not collected, but that's big. He might have tangled maybe in turn 5, because that's, as you said, right front damage.
We're going to try to see what happened here, and this is actually a little, this is on the first lap still, so maybe it was a follow-up. Once again, we'll try to figure out what happened to Brady Lubin now, and then maybe this damage. Oh, I think maybe when he got back going. Let's go back all the way to the first lap and see just exactly what happened from Brady Lubinow's perspective.
So as you can see, Brady got an excellent run, and he managed to stick the position around the outside of Nick Ludicky. That's not something we're used to seeing. And he got a perfect line, kind of perfect line into turns 2 and 3, but just carried a bit too much speed in that rear end of the Porsche's gun, something we saw also often in this series. And as soon as he gets back on clear traffic, and, well, so far so good. So could it be the trenchy turn 5 that we're kind of used to seeing in no! Wow, that is extremely weird to see in Road Atlanta, especially on low speed like that.
Somebody else, looks like it was Mikhail Ruderbush, also had an issue. We're going to take a look at that as well. See what happened to Mikhail Ruderbush as he went off at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, it looks like he got off in the very late end of turn 4, maybe in the entry of turn 5, because that's the gravel trap. As you can see, the number 22. Well, he gets a perfect clear run. He has nobody side by side with him, essentially. He avoids the collision. Oh, now he does have a kind of a sandwich between the number 9 car as well. He kind of backs off, but he's side by side. Will there be any contact? Oh, yes, there is. That explains everything.
So that might have been exactly, yeah, the gap that Nick Ludicky had out at turn 5 was because the battle for second between Ruderbush and Curtis Jones, or Curtis Jones, I'm sorry, is third. But the battle towards the front of that pack had its own, I guess, own little action back there that caused everybody to kind of check up over one another. And we continue on here. Mikhail Ruderbush running in the 11th position. He's about 5 seconds behind the next closest competitor of David Flanagan, who's currently bringing up the rear of the main pack, if you will. Brady Lubinow 3.5 seconds back of Mikhail Ruderbush there in 12th. Back up front, it's all Nick Ludicky. A 1.3 second advantage. That advantage has dropped a tenth since we last checked up on the margin, but still nothing that Ludicky, I believe, is even worried about.
Yeah, I want to give big props to James Henson and Curtis Jones because, well, that gap has stayed the same since lap 1. So these guys, I'm not going to say they have the pace as Nick Ludicky just right now sets the fastest lap of the race, but these guys seems to be hanging on. I'm not pretty sure if Nick is kind of sandbagging into race number 1, but if this continues, Nick might be having some troubles in passing them on the next sprint race if everything stays the same.
So we continue on here in 6 minutes, 9 minutes to go, and Nick Ludicky all over that curbing. Let's go and see what's going on back here, and it's gotten a little tight in the middle of the field. Wade Hayes over BC Voigt, Corey Peters, and Jimmy Allen in this mix, and oh, off the track is Corey Peters.
Oh, just completely overshot turn 5. He's gonna park his car. Oh, he's trying to rejoin it safely, but I'm not pretty sure you needed to reverse. Unfortunately for him, that's gonna be a huge time loss, and he now finds himself on dead last place. But how a small mistake can cost you in such a tight field.
Yeah, we're gonna ride on board with Corey Peters and see exactly how this happened. Well, we'll see first from the TV camera. Corey Peters coming down the hill here. You see, with the slipstream, he hits both apexes. I think he just, that rear end stepped out coming into turn 4 right there, I think. Or, I'm sorry, bottom of the hill there, turn 5.
Yeah, if you look closely, I'm gonna guess his backhand just kind of stepped out, maybe a bit too aggressive on the braking. Obviously, you're coming from a downhill session to a slightly uphill, so the car's completely under load at that circumstance. And, well, unfortunately for him, we might see a big correction on those steering wheels, so watch out. At the braking zone, I'm pretty sure that wheel is just gonna pretty much snap to try and correct, but it's gonna be a bit too late, as you can see, as right now he approaches kind of that dip. Yep, the backhand kind of just steps out, and, well, there's absolutely nothing he could have done at that point in time.
Yeah, I think with, the slipstream and, wanting to be aggressive to stay, with the guys ahead of him, maybe it was just a little too much for the rear end, and unfortunately, we're going to see him go around here at the bottom of the hill in turn 5.
But luckily for him, that small mistake, even though it completely compromised his sprint race number 1, let's remind everybody, that's going to guarantee him, at least for the time being, pole for the next race. But right now the gap between him and Brady Lubinow is less than 2 seconds, so obviously he's catching. Brady is obviously nursing big damage to the front end, which is not only affecting his front downforce but also his drag, so Brady's going to be struggling a lot, and, well, I'm not pretty sure he's going to be able to hold off Corey Peters if this continues.
I mean, so at this point, like, what do you do if you're Brady Lubinow? Do you try to back up to Corey Peters? Because, I mean, at this point, your sprint race is over. You're 23 seconds. Oh my goodness. Ludicky goes fastest let's say towards the middle, but we're in the second half of the sprint race now. With 6.5 minutes left, Ludicky's gone fastest overall once again. But you see Corey Peters is catching. Like, if you're Brady Lubinow, do you intentionally back up here? Just, take your pole for sprint race 2? And if you're Corey Peters, do you, oh my goodness, all over the grass there off the exit of 12. If you're Corey Peters, do you push to even try to catch Brady Lubinow?
It's definitely an interesting scenario because obviously I'm pretty sure, it's extremely good. Obviously you want to be in pole position, but let's remind everybody, Brady Lubinow is second place in points. He's only 61 points behind Nick Ludicky. If anything happens to Nick, you know, he still has a shot at that championship. So pretty sure he's going to be trying to get as many points as possible. And well, he's been getting amazing starts all throughout the season. So if he's confident enough for his start, he could try and defend that position. But well, this challenge, I'm pretty sure James Hansen is not going to be wanting to give up the position to Curtis Jones, as they look like they're going to be approaching a nice battle within 5 minutes to go.
Very impressive the run Curtis Jones is having here. Red Island all over the exit, curbing of 10B over to crest that turn 11, and now coming through the final corner here, turn number 12, all over the grass there on the exit. Both of them, I believe Hansen took a little bit less than Curtis Jones there, and back again into turn number 1. If Curtis Jones can nail these S's, we could be talking about something maybe at the bottom of the hill, turn 5, or into the double right-hander down at 6 and 7.
It's all about applying that pressure in this moment in time. There's absolutely zero chance of a move unless the driver ahead of you makes a mistake, but if he can apply the pressure, then James Hansen might crack. At one point, looks like he won at this moment in time, as both drivers elect not to take the curb, so that might be the optimal racing line. Ludicky also is avoiding that curb, so, you know, that is the ideal racing line at this moment in time. But let's look at the run as they exit out of turn 7, a big braking zone, big 90-degree corner. Looks like James Hansen went a bit wide. That wheel on the grass might cost him a lot, as now Curtis Jones is really going to be approaching in that Porsche.
There was an overtake further back in the pack between Gerges and Jimmy Allen. We'll get to it in just a second, but we got a battle back here. Hansen, Curtis Jones to the second position. The defense from James Hansen down the hill. Who can outbrake who into turn 10A?
Looks like Curtis Jones is not quite confident enough to go around the outside, but look at the run as they exit turn 10B. Oh, looks like James Hansen just got that covered. Now let's look at the run down into turn 1. Looks like they're both going to stay the same. Now did Curtis Jones get enough of a run on the exit of 11 and 12? No, not quite. Look at this train. Look at how close he is. That's just confident on yourself to run that closely, especially on a track like this. So maximum amount of pressure from Curtis Jones and James Hansen, is definitely soaking it up all perfectly.
Now I do have to mention, we are having an issue with the paint schemes loading in. Something amiss with trading paints on my end, I would assume, and that's why these drivers are not running the paint schemes they should be in. We'll try to get that fixed as soon as possible, but for now you can still see the numbers on the windshields there and on the number plates at the very least to help you differentiate between these two who are running very similar paint schemes, and I don't believe they actually are.
James Hansen got extremely loose on turn 7 again, and that might be another run from Curtis Jones. Pretty sure I saw the tail end of that number 1 Porsche kind of wiggling around. As you can see, he's going defensive. Now can Curtis Jones throw a move maybe down the inside, sell him the dummy? Might not be close enough. Can he throw around the outside? Looks like he's out braking. No, he's just kind of holding it back. Whereas now, obviously, that's going to compromise his exit. And look at the run once again. Is it a carbon copy move of last lap? Looks like it is.
Into turn 12, off of turn 12, all over the rear end. Here's Curtis Jones.
Run down into 1.
Wow. Side by side into 1. Who can stick it? Hansen goes wide. He's going to check up. Here comes Curtis Jones.
Jensen got an absolutely lifeline on that curb. His left front wheel was inches from the gravel, and that was going to be probably race over. But what a move from Curtis Jones on the inside of turn 1. Extremely clean move by both drivers, but Curtis just kind of muscled his way past us. Now he gets loose on the exit of 5. Can that throw maybe a move? As you can see now, Hansen going into the outside of 6.
James Hansen trying to get the crossover here out of 6. He set Curtis Jones up into 7. He's got to send it down there. Can he get there? Side by side out of 7. Whoa, what's their contact?
Looks like Jones got loose on the exit, and that was enough to throw out Hansen. So I'm not pretty sure that was any door banging or anything, but Curtis Jones got extremely lucky, essentially almost losing the car, and that's gonna give him a lifeline once again as they now head downhill into turn 10. Looks like Hansen has the pace maybe to stick it with Curtis Jones at that moment in time, so maybe if he can get a good run as we now head into, I'm pretty sure, the last lap of the race.
Well, we're coming to the last lap of this sprint race, but Nick Ludicky lost a second on that straightaway last lap. He might have had a compromised exit in turn 7, so the sprint race victory may still be up for grabs.
Yeah, exactly. The gap is down to 1.3. It was all the way up to 2.6 if I'm not mistaken. So maybe nursing tires, maybe nursing fuel at this moment in time. I'm not pretty sure what's happening to Nick, but looks like that gap is kind of stabilizing at this moment in time, as looks like James Hansen is kind of dropping back a bit. The gap is around half a second. If he can still stick with half a second, he might have a shot with the slipstream.
I want to say BC Voigt has pitted, and I assume this is a move for him to try to start on the pole for the next sprint race. But here we go into turn 6 for the final time in this first sprint race. Curtis Jones doing a brilliant job defending against Chris Hansen, but onto this monster is back straight away for the final time in this sprint race. Will Curtis Jones hold on to second? Hansen in the preferred position, slipstreaming, and pulls out to the right-hand side.
As you can see, got a perfect run. That slipstream is working wonders with these cars. And now Hansen is going to be on the outside move. Can he clear Jones on the braking zone? Looks like Jones just has his note on the quarter panel.
Oh.
Can Hansen hold it around the outside? Yes, he can. I'm not pretty sure
Watch that
if Jones has
crossover.
the exit.
No.
Look at the exit. No, might be a bit too far away as they both head downhill. And Nick Ludicky wins once again.
Nearly crashing coming to the line was Curtis Jones and James Hansen, and Hansen will get second, Jones third, Chris Brunnemer fourth, and Wade Hayes off of turn number 12, he'll get fifth. And oh, they were all over each other back here as well. Remember, I said Gerges made an overtake on Allen. That's where that ended up, 6th and 7th. David Flanagan 8th, Mikhail Ruderbush 9th, and then the wrecked vehicles of Lubenow 10th over Corey Peters and the pit vehicle of BC Voigt.
Perfect run and perfect racetrack. That's why it's one of my favorites. BC Voigt unfortunately had a late pit stop. We're not pretty sure what happened to him, but luckily for him, as you mentioned, Emerson, he's going to be starting on pole on the reverse grid for sprint race number 2.
Absolutely, and we're getting ready to do that. We're just waiting for BC Voigt to come across the line, and there he is, locking it up straight away. And that we are going to get right to it here. Let's go through our starting lineup for sprint race number 2. And again, BC Voigt on the pole position. You see him, he's there alongside Corey Peters. Run number 2, we're gonna find Run number 2, we're gonna find Brady Lubenow and Mikhail Ruderbush. Lubenow, again, great start in sprint race number 1. He got clear of Nick Ludicky for about a turn in the first real braking zone off that start there into turn 2, and then lost it on the turn 2 exit. Right now in third, if he can find his way around Peters and Voigt, we might be talking about Brady Lubenow in this sprint race. Mikhail Ruderbush there in 4th. And run number 3, David Flanagan and Jimmy Allen. JP?
Row number 4, we do have Christian Gerges and Wade Hayes on 8th place. Row number 9, we do have Chris Brunnemer and Curtis Jones. And finally, in row number 11, we do have James Hansen and our race winner, Nick Ludicky, as we do have the 5 red lights coming up alive.
Yep, the 12 drivers gridded up, and we are getting ready to go. We're green from Road Atlanta Sprint Race 2, and oh, the move, 3 wide from Brady Lubenow as he sends them up into turn number 1. As we get to the bottom of the hill, what an amazing move from Brady Lubenow to take the lead off the start. He just absolutely timed the lights perfectly. Now that he jumped the start, we'll have no idea unless he comes in for, a pass-through penalty within the next 3 laps, or I believe it's actually like a hold on off the track. Is that James Hansen? I'm sorry, no, that's David Flanagan.
Ooh, a small mistake. Looks like on turn 6 cost him. Oh, can he save it? Yes,
Woo.
he can. Looks like cost him absolutely everything. And unfortunately for him, at the end of lap 1, he's already going to be down in last place. But look at this. Our championship leader at this moment in time making moves. Looks like Nick Ludicky is going to be looking on the outside of turn 10. Can he make the move stick? He's going to have to be brave. He's going to have to be bold on the outside.
Ooh,
oh, they make small contact. It looks like they just kind of bang the quarter panels of the race car, and Nick Ludicky banks himself another position. Looks like he's up 4 positions at this moment in time. Yes, he is down up into 8th place.
Oh, into the grass goes Curtis Jones, and again, I'm sorry, that's James Hansen who got the grass. Curtis Jones was actually the one who gained the spot from the contact there between Ludicky and Hansen. Back up front, Brady Lubenow has a half-second advantage over Mikhail Ruderbush running in second, but Ruderbush keeping him company down the hill.
Yeah, looks like British also got a good start, but what was I mentioning? No, there's something about Luke now, and he starts on this Porsche car, and he's just been starting amazing pretty much each and every single race, and well, he jumped from third all the way up into first. Unluckily for him, Bush is all the way on his bumper essentially at this moment in time, and well, they're kind of fighting for the championship, so I'm pretty sure Mikel is definitely going to be trying to looking for a way past Brady Lubnow. Even though it's early in the race, it's always nice to have track position.
And sticking with them, Corey Peters, Christian Gerges, and then there's a little bit of a breakaway to BC Voigt here in fifth, who's got a whole train of cars, and Nick Ludicky looking to make a move here on Chris Brunnemer in the 10A.
Looks like he got the nose ahead, and Chris looks like he's going to yield that position before the apex, and well, that's another position done from Nick Ludicky. It's definitely not as easy as it was last week at Hockenheim, but he's definitely showing why he's the championship leader and why he's the only winner so far, as now Mikel Rudbush makes himself the fastest lap of the race of 1:23. But even with an overtake, Nick Ludicky 2/10 quicker, and well, that just kind of shows why he's the championship leader. Is he now looking for a way past Jimmy Allen?
And we're just going to watch. Oh my goodness, the run out of turn 2. Jimmy Allen getting sized up, dotted up, down the hill into the S's, and Ludicky up to 6th. What a brilliant move in a spot of the track. You don't normally see an overtake like that in the same class.
I am speechless. That's just extremely bold to do something like that on lap 3. So well done. I mean, he's just showing that he wants to keep that perfect score of race wins to his belt, and well, he's definitely going to be trying to make a double overtake, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be possible. BC Voigt, less than 0.2 of a second between those two. BC might be going defensive, but at this moment in time, even with a slight bit of damage on his bumper, on his hood, sorry, he's going to be looking, looks like on the inside. So BC Voigt not fighting for position. He might be thinking of the bigger picture as Nick goes down the inside and well, gets the move done. Copy and paste from a few laps ago. But look at BC Voigt. Is he going to be looking on the run? No, unfortunately, he just kind of backs off and will try to follow, I guess.
I think, he felt he might have had the run, but just knowing how good Ludicky is, I don't know if he wanted to chance it in the middle of the sprint race. Brady Lubnow goes fastest overall there, out in front by 0.8 of a second, and Ludicky does not. Granted, Ludicky made an insane overtake here in the S's. That definitely would have cost him some time.
Yeah, surprisingly, he was only 0.2 of a second slower than Brady, so he's definitely pushing these cars to the absolute limit. He might have been sandbagging on the previous race. Well, he's definitely not doing it in this race, as he's now trying to find a way. Look at the Porsche goodness. Just jumping around on the exit. That's just brave, and he's trying to find. He's just trying to catch up everybody so quickly. I'm going to be taking a look at his lifetime because I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing another fastest lap incoming.
Absolutely. Nick Ludicky was cooking down the hill. And right now it's a top 4 breakaway, but Nick Ludicky is on his way to mix it up with Christian Gerges and Corey Peters as we come down the long back straightaway here in Brazelton, Georgia's Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta, and over a second advantage for Brady Lubnow, who locks it up into 10A.
Oh, unfortunately for him, a small mistake. All that good work to build that gap is not essentially wiped, but definitely shrunk to less than 0.7 of a second, as these drivers, all of them are going to be going through the start-finish line. So now let's take a look at the lap time from Nick Ludicky.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Nearly a second quicker than Brady Lubnow on his fastest lap, so he's definitely pushing to the absolute limit, and well, he's already on the back, only a second back from Christian Gerges.
James Hansen has just made the move around Curtis Jones back here. They're still doing battle down the hill here, and Curtis Jones trying to hold on to what he's got over Wade Hayes. It is all sorts of fun back here. Right now, James Hansen looking to size up Chris Brunnemer down the short chute to the double right-hander here, and I believe Ludicky is right there on Gerges and Peters. This is going to be fun down the back straight.
Oh, can we look at that? Probably a double move on the chicane. They're also close. He's going to be getting the benefit of essentially a double slipstream, as he's all the way on the back of Christian Gerges, who's all the way on the back of Corey Peters. So only time will tell where he will be looking. Can he look on the outside? He's going to be looking on the inside. Looks like he's going to be looking on the inside.
Oh,
big crash between all three of them, but looks like Nick Ludicky from a miracle, looks like he doesn't have a lot of damage and he'll be keep going with a double move.
Wow, Nick Ludicky. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but relatively scot-free. Free out of that one. Corey Peters, not so much. And there's a battle actually right here. We saw in the back of the camera shot. Flanagan just made his way around Jimmy Allen. They're still duking it out hard. This is for pole position in the feature race right here.
Look at these two. We have battles all throughout the field. We have essentially a battle for looks like 6th place, 7th place at this moment, and we do have a battle for 10th and 11th, as these two are looks like they have essentially the same pace, and they're going to be battling all throughout the lap. And we're not going to be taking a look at the replay of that incident, that big incident, and it's going to be a talking point on the driver's chat, because, well, this could be costly for Nick Ludicky. As you can see, just a small contact, and unfortunately nearly all 3 cars, but not a lot of damage for the number 97.
No, not a lot of damage at all. Just a lot of time lost. I bet he was pretty high on how he was doing in this sprint race, and honestly just wiped away out of nowhere. We're actually gonna ride on board with Christian Gerges here, and we'll see how the contact is made.
So it looks like Christian on the attempt of essentially to defend the position from Nick. Wow, look at that. Essentially 4-wheel drift, as he essentially just locked everything up to save it. That's just impressive. But looks like Gerges, on an attempt to hold Ludicky back, just kind of overshot the corner, and that small tap at that speed is essentially all you need to kind of throw the car ahead of you off. And we're going to be taking a look at a replay from Nick, as you're just going to take a look at this save.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that's all I can say about that. That is gnarly.
That is just textbook saving maneuver. I mean, I'm not pretty sure how quickly someone can react, but, well, he just did everything and took the apex of 10B like it was a pole lap, and I guess that's kind of why he's on the point lead at this moment.
Something I missed with James Hansen here into turn 5. Let's see, he runs off wide, and then Brunnemer and Curtis Jones both get on by. So Hansen went from 5th to 7th in that move. That was a replay, but it happened about a few seconds before we just went back to live coverage. So now we'll go back to what's going on right now, and it is Curtis Jones and Chris Brunnemer who are battling it out right now. We'll get to the coverage right here in just a moment. Through 10B, Curtis Jones holds on to 5th over Brunnemer now.
Looks like Jones is on a streak. Can we get him and Hansen kind of separated? Because those two, pretty sure they have a magnet between one another. As now Brunnemer is on the mix. Looks like Brunnemer has a bit of damage. My eyes might be cheating me, but looks like his front right panel might be a bit damaged. But, well, Jonas as well put in an absolutely amazing recovery drive all the way up into 5th place. So keep an eye out for him on the next few races if he cannot hold back some of the leaders as well. Look at this, a 3-car and then a 2-car train following one another.
Whoa, BC Voigt, big moment out of the bottom of the hill, turn 5. Wade Hayes up to P8. What a move and what a catch. Oh, a lockup there for James Hansen. All the action is back here in the thick of it. Here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Is this Brunnemer making a move on Curtis Jones? No, I think he was actually trying to avoid Curtis Jones there in 7, which is actually going to hurt his exit. And they're going to do battle back there in 8th once again.
This is why I love Road Atlanta. It's just non-stop action. You cannot relax for a moment. Look at this. Will he be looking at the inside? Looks like he's trying to sell him the dummy. Might be looking at the outside. Can he get the move done? He's going to be looking on the inside, but not quite. Look at this. I'm just loving how brave these drivers are on the outside lane. That's just amazing to see. And BC Voigt keeps his 8th position for the time being.
So all that is happening out in front. Mikael Ruderbusch has only been able to get it down to 1 second between himself and Lubenow. Lubenow out on Sunday driver. Is he? A big moment there out of turn number 2. And the gap has shrunk once again. It's now half a second on the final lap here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta.
Oh no, last race he made a mistake on lap 1. Right now he made a mistake on the last lap. And this mistake might be costly for his win. His probably only chance to win at this moment in time. Nick Ludicky is in third, so if these two come together, we're going to be seeing a repeat winner. Luckily, that doesn't come, but now Brady has an extremely difficult task to keep Mikael Rudebusch behind, because he's going to be taking that slipstream, and he's definitely going to be going for a move into turn 10.
Here we go, the final lap here in sprint race number 2. By the way, are we potentially seeing somebody finally stop Ludicky from taking the checkered flag? It's gonna all go down in 10. Here we go. Lubin with the defense on Rudebusch. I don't think Rudebusch can get there. And off,
Rudebusch tried, not close enough.
Off of turn number 11 and turn number 12, finally somebody will break through. Brady Lubinow will win sprint race 2.
Water race, finally another race winner. I'm sorry, Nick, nothing against you, but it's just so nice to see. And well, Nick's gonna finish off in third. Definitely, I was not expecting that. And well, we get to see that all over again, but for twice the distance. I cannot wait.
I cannot believe it. And now we're gonna go into our 10-minute warm-up session here. And wow, you know, for Ludicky's sake, that's heartbreaking. In fact, he was thinking he might have had a shot at a perfect season. But wow, Brady Lubinow, a phenomenal job. And I want to get a word of him straight away if we can here. Trying to get it all lined up. And let's try to get a word in right now with our Sprint Race 2 winner, Brady Lubinow. And Brady, wow. How was that that final lap? Talk about that final lap holding off Mikael Rudebusch.
Yeah. I don't know if you could tell, I was pretty nervous into turn 3 after spinning there on the first heat. So it almost happened again on that last lap. After that, it was kind of just, you know, keep it clean, go to the inside, go into the last chicane, and I should have had it based on how much I still had on him. Yeah,
absolutely. I know you've been trying hard this season to finally break through, and even there in the first sprint race, you made an amazing move on Nick, and then what happened at turn 2?
Well, the temperatures are a lot hotter than any of the official races we've done this week. Like, we're talking 10 degrees Celsius warmer, so just wasn't used to that, and I guess that just caught me out going into turn 3 there. I thought it was in a stick, and all of a sudden the tires started to go.
Yeah, that was quite difficult. I was actually very, very curious. My only thing, or my only thought, I guess, was cold tires or a little too much speed into turn 2 at that. But that being said, you had the great move there off the line in the second sprint race. Yeah, had your mistake there in the first sprint race. Can you put all this together now for a feature event? Here, you're gonna be starting again, at the back of the field, but you'll have to work through a lot of cars, just like Ludicky will. And all that. How do you feel about putting all this together for a feature race?
Good. I was disappointed in myself after the first heat. I'm just glad Nick was able to make it through the field, and we're going to be starting really close together for this last one and have a proper battle. Didn't really want to win that way in the second heat by, basically crashing in the first one and starting up front. But it is what it is, and luckily we should have a good battle in this last one.
Absolutely. We're going to leave you to it, Mr. Lubinow. Best luck to you in your 30-minute feature event.
Thank you.
Driver of the number 11 Porsche there, Brady Lubinow. And, wow. Again, nothing against Nick. Great guy. Just, it's refreshing. And I think for everybody else, they're like, finally, there's another win or another number in that win column.
Yeah, I guess it's just the underdog, but essentially with Nick Ludicky, the rest of the grid is the underdog, so we're kind of rooting for everybody. As you mentioned, nothing against Nick at all. It's just nice to see someone else win. And I'm definitely going to be taking a closer look with Brady when we talk about the start, because, well, he's going to be lining up in last place or 12th place, and obviously Nick is going to be in 10th place directly ahead of him. So if Brady can get one of his godlike starts again, he might be able to hold up Nick, or if he doesn't, obviously we're gonna have a race on our hands where they're gonna be playing cat and mouse again.
Well, we're gonna take this moment to thank some of our partners here at Pit Stop TV. Of course, like Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. You provide the image that you want, and they will custom create a beautifully framed, high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With Sound Art, you get the best of both worlds. Visit TucsonSoundArt.com for additional info and use promo code PITSTOPTV at checkout and receive 10% off of your purchase. Ever wish you could have a race engineer on speed dial? Well, now you can, thanks to RacePace, a driver development service and setup shop all in one. Work with Tyler, a real-world race engineer, to step up your game before your next race. Pick up pace with RacePace. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. And with locations in Auburn, Lewiston, Naples, and Saco, Maine, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine owner Ashley Boyer is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. Contact Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com, or you can call or text them at 207-358-8683. Whiplash Media specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and more. And the official graphic and camera provider of Pitstop TV, you can grab your iBroadcast cameras today at pitstoptv.com. That website again, www.pitstoptv.com. If you want to check out the resources from Whiplash Media. And of course, BAM Racing Videos by a race fan for the racing community. We're going to take a quick break here. On the far side will be the 30-minute feature event here from Michelin Raceways Road Atlanta. Don't you go away. We'll be back on the flip side. It's going to be a fun one.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome back, race fans, to Brazelton, Georgia's Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta Pit Stop TV coverage of the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series penultimate round of this Porsche Cup Series season. Continues here right now in warm-up, coming to a close. And JP, wild sprint races there in sprint race 1 and 2. What are your thoughts heading into the feature?
Well, double the length, I guess, double the fun for us. But I mean, you cannot really go against Nick Ludicky unless something big happens on the first few laps. I'm pretty sure he might have it. Obviously, we're rooting for the underdogs, I guess. That's just my take. But it's just going to be a fun 30-minute race on this perfect racetrack.
Well, let's get to it right now as warm-up is ticking over. We will now have the opportunity to go through our starting lineup. And the starting lineup for tonight's feature event. Row number 1, we saw that battle, a little bit of it. Jimmy Allen will start on the pole over David Flanagan. And now we fall back to row number 2. We'll find Corey Peters and BC Voigt, And row number 3, Wade Hayes and James Hansen. JP?
For number 4, we do have Chris Brunnemer and Curtis Jones in 8th place. Row number 5, Christian Gerges and the championship leader, Nick Ludicky. And row number 6, we do have Mikael Rudebusch and our brand new winner, Brady Lubenow.
So that is our grid of 12 cars ready to rumble here, again in Brazelton, Georgia's Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. The penultimate round, the penultimate feature race of the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series season is about to be underway. 30 minutes of Porsche GT3 Cup Car action here at Road Atlanta. Here we go. Oh, somebody moved off the grid. I believe that is Voigt. But we are racing from Road Atlanta. Big wreck off the S's, massive pile up, 6-7 cars around. Oh my goodness.
That might be commentator Curtis at its finest. I said I'm going with Nick unless
car in the
something
grass.
big happens. We do have
Oh,
something
no.
happen on turn 5.
Wade
Oh,
Hayes.
that's a big hit.
Oh, no.
Oh, that is a dangerous rejoin, and well, that Porsche is dead at that moment.
Oh my goodness. Where do we begin? There's still a battle going on right here. We'll get a replay of the first lap action in a moment. But right now, this is James Hansen on David Flanagan for the second position. And here they go.
He's going to be looking on the inside. He's braver on the brakes. Can he get it slow down? Yes, he can look at the cutback line. Not close enough, no. So Hansen looks like he now settles for second, and well, he's definitely going to be on a chase for Allen.
So after all that, let's go back and try to dissect what just happened. Off of the grid here, there was a massive pile up in the back of the field. I'd have to maybe imagine it stemmed from maybe, drivers trying to be aggressive off the line or something like that, but
Yeah, definitely some contact happened on turn 3, and after that it was essentially a cascade effect. I'm probably going to be guessing around the 6th, 7th place area. Looks like, yeah, you were right. Looks like the number 64 kind of moved, so we might be seeing a penalty later on in the race. But let's just take a look. Looks like the back of the grid essentially just had to take avoiding action, and we definitely saw Nick kind of getting involved in. Look at this. They're going 3 wide into turns 2 and 3. And, well, it's a big... Oh,
Corey Peters.
Yeah. Corey Peters just on the inside, taking way too much speed, and unfortunately took a lot of people out. As you can see, Mikael Rudebusch and Nick Ludicky. As you can see, Nick just moving away, so a lot of cars involved on that turn 2, turn 3 incident.
Let's take another look at this. We're going to get this one from up above turn number 1 and the wild start. We're going to go back one more time and see just how everybody pulls off the line here. We'll see BC Voigt there. Actually, I guess he already moved. Here we go off the line, and look at everybody moving nearly 4 wide there three wide, 3 rows deep nearly as they go into turn 1. James Hansen says fastest lap right now, and look at this pack. As they come up the hill, oh, we're going to be blocked by trees here, but we'll see here. Yep, we'll be able to see it for the most part. Corey Peters, oh, he gets contacted from the rear. He's going to go around. 3 cars off on the right, 3 cars off on the left, and somebody just shot the middle.
Yeah, someone looks, I'm pretty sure that was Brady Luminow, got extremely lucky and absolutely no contact whatsoever. So unfortunately 2 separate incidents that kind of merged into one another, and well, that was unfortunately a bump essentially, and that's pretty much all it took to kind of wipe away half the field.
Yeah. One more look at this incident. Yeah, it is, that looks like a pack, like a NASCAR pack going up the hill here in the turn 2, and again, just contact from the rear right there, trying to figure out who that is. I can't really tell who that was.
Yeah, looks like he just got bumped on the back end, and after that, you know, essentially you're running so close to one another, and at that point just something happens. As you can see now, the car's just bumping around. Turn 5 looked, yeah, that's the replay.
You know what, that was Wade Hayes, I'm pretty sure, the driver that made the contact. I
kind of got scared thinking that was essentially a carbon copy, but luckily it was just a replay, kind of jumping the gun on that. But yeah, just turn 5 attacks again, as you can see, just as small as of bumps. Yeah, absolutely nothing you can do at that moment in time.
And chose Wade Hayes one more time, just because he also had another incident here at the bottom of the hill, and I promise we will get right back to the action. A lot of pit stops going on right now, so people probably do, I guess, short fill at the beginning and fill to the end here. And again, just a little too much curbing off of 5. Massive hit coming across the track.
And that's turn 5 for you. If you just you take a bit too much curb on the outside, the car's just going to be jumping all around. And unfortunately for him, it kind of just pointed at the wrong direction and into the concrete wall.
So right now in the pit lane is BC Void. I'm imagining these are scheduled pit stops in some way, but Christian Gerges has pitted, Mikhail Ruderbusch has pitted, and Chris Brudemer has pitted. BC Void is just rolling off the pit lane now. I don't know if this is damage. Well, you know, BC Void also could have had a penalty. You know what he did? Because here's why. Brudemer, Ruderbusch, and Gerges were on the pit lane for 3.5 seconds. BC Void, 37.
Oh yeah, that's essentially just jumping the gun, and unfortunately for him, another small mistake into turn 3. Those colder tires, obviously he was sitting around for much longer, and luckily for him, he already took his pit stop. I'm pretty sure right now he's gonna be fueled to the end, as looks like Henson made his way past Allen, is already stretching his gap to 1.3 seconds, but look at 4th place. Brady Lubina on your screen right now, chasing down Flanagan and looking to a possible podium position, and after that, just 2 more places to go to repeat the feat that he did on heat race number 2.
Oh, that's Jimmy Allen going around. A lot of action here in the opening stages of the feature race from Road Atlanta. Can he get back going here? He will without any more issue. We'll let him get up a gear here and take a quick look to see what happened to Jimmy Allen. Maybe he was pushing the issue, trying to catch up with James Hansen, but we'll see here on the replay.
Pretty sure that's just another turn 5, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be on the entry because he was way too wide and we saw a big puff of smoke. Let's see as he goes down. Oh yeah, just back end stepped out. I'm pretty sure his wheel might have been on the curb and that might have unsettled the car, and unfortunately for him, just kind of took a bit too long to kind of get the car in gear and got his back end. I'm sorry for each and every single one of these drivers, because as soon as I mention their names, something is happening to them. This is just commentator's curse at its finest.
Nick Ludicky has gone fastest overall. He is 7 seconds back off of race leader James Hansen. 22.5 minutes. Is that enough time for somebody of Ludicky's caliber? And Lubinow is in the way. Lubinow, of course, you know, had the pace there in Sprint Race 2 and was able to take the lead in Sprint Race 1 for 1 corner. So Lubinow ahead of Ludicky as well could play a factor. So I know, you know, we've had a lot of incidents, you know, the 6-7 car pile up off of turn number 2, and then several solo incidents as well, but we still have action in this 12 car field. I can't believe that.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, kind of robbed again us from maybe a big train, but times are gonna be close, and definitely we're gonna be taking a look at the pit stop window once that opens. But the gap between Nick and Brady is around 4 seconds, and they're kind of taking the same amount of time from James each and every single corner, so it looks like they might be on the same pace. But obviously, as soon as Brady gets close to Henson, he's going to be trying to make a move. Henson, I'm pretty sure, will be defending, and that's going to be costing him time. So each and every single moment those two are battling, Nick is saying thank you and getting closer and closer.
And here's another thing, everybody from Avon back have made their pit stops. BC Voigt maybe was a little forced, but everybody else, has already come in. I can only assume that there's some sort of strategy that can come to play, amongst the top 5 or so. That could really set us up for, the rest of this 30 minutes feature race.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these drivers might have already taken the opportunity to just pit, get away with it, and essentially get free track. I mean, if you take a look at Chris Brunnemer, he has over 30 seconds from the next car, so he has a perfectly clean track. Mikael Rudebusch is over 10 seconds behind. Christian Gerg is the same thing. So these guys are essentially on a free track, and they can just be settling quality lap times at this moment, and that might help them on the long run if they have the pace to keep up not only Brady but Henson and Nick, who just right now looks like he's on 3rd place, as looks like Flanagan might have made a mistake as he drops back down into 5th.
I was just about to say, all of a sudden Ludicky was in the 3rd, so we'll see what happened. I'm gonna assume this is turn 5. Oh no, it was actually not turn 5. We'll get the replay here so we can see what happened. David Flanagan coming up the hill. They're in the 3rd position at the time. And all over the curbing there on the inside of 2. A little loose through 3. Sliding. He'll have to lock it down. Ludicky had a compromised line there as well.
Yeah, Ludicky, and looks like the driver behind him, that might be Chris Brunnemer. No, that's going to be Curtis Jones. But yeah, unfortunately, Flanagan just overcorrected the car and lost 2 positions. Luckily for him, he saved and he has no damage, apart from probably a bit of a flat spot in his tire. But other than that, I'm pretty sure he might not be complaining, considering some of the other drivers that made a few mistakes on that part of the racetrack.
You know what? He's still in the top 5. He can still make something out of this race. David Flanagan can. Nick Ludicky right here up to 3rd. He is 5.2 seconds back after, 3 minutes ago he was 7 seconds back. So it might be starting to start sounding the alarm in the 01 pit, and well, maybe we'll have to see, if Ludicky can catch Lubenow. If he does catch Lubenow, will it be before or after they get to James Hansen? Will they get to James Hansen? A lot of questions left unanswered with 19 minutes left to go.
Yeah, looks like Nick might have the pace. Last lap he did a 122.6. Looks like Lubenow did a 123, so Lubenow might be struggling a bit into finding that essential pace at this moment in time. But if you can just keep going. Looks like we do have another mistake. Looks like that might be on the entry. Chris Brunnemer going slow on the exit of turn 5, but he was on the inside wall, and we do see a little bit of smoke. So looks like turn 5 is catching each and every single driver on these feature races.
Yeah, he was carrying a lot of speed coming down the hill into turn 5, all over the curbing. On entry, he misses the apex. That's it. He just misses his turn-in point.
Yeah, exactly. That's extremely odd to kind of miss the apex on that corner, but luckily for him, no wall and no damage once again, apart from some shot tires. But nice save. I mean, that might not be on par with Nick Ludicky on the second heat race, but that's definitely a nice save.
Absolutely. We'll get back to the live action here, and everybody has kind of found their own little pocket. It is starting to look like a track day right now, or practice session for these boys, but by no means is anybody, just taking it easy. I would assume, especially amongst the top 5, 6 or so, that definitely can have something to go. Brunnemer maybe, was pushing a little bit right there, trying to, because he is the first driver who pitted. He still is actually the first driver who's come down pit lane. Chris Brunnemer is, so maybe he was trying to see where he could end up with, where strategy would shake up, but unfortunately that's not going to help his incident there in turn 5.
Yeah, as you mentioned, everybody's in its little pocket of air, but luckily for me, I like to keep a look on the lap times and on the gaps, and I can see that gap from 1st to 2nd kind of shrinking, and I can see the gap from 3rd to 2nd kind of shrinking. Looks like Nick Ludicky is coming down to nearly 3 seconds on Brady Lubinow, so he's catching up slowly but surely. As you can see, Brady not cutting turn 3 as much as you can, and even though it may not look like a lot, those are just a few tenths of a second that allows you to catch not only the car ahead, but not to be catched by the car behind.
So the question then becomes, normally when you talk about a battle like this, and only a certain amount of time remaining, you don't know if the overtakes are going to be completed, or you think you're going to get caught and you need to do something. Does an undercut work here, in this series where you don't really take tires, you only take a splash of fuel? Or do you want to try to run your tank empty so you can run as many laps as you can on the lightest amount of fuel? What would you do if maybe you're in James Hansen's position where you're getting caught by two faster cars?
Well, at that moment in time, you do have to question what your situation with the tires, and well, if you have a spotter or maybe some sort of a program, let's say some sort of digital spotter to help you visualize where you're going to be coming out of the racetrack, that obviously is going to help, because an overcut might just work like we see in other racetracks, but you just need to come out in clean air and pump clean lap times, because if you come ahead, like behind or even side by side with someone, that might just be the difference within how close these drivers are from one another. So at this moment in time, I just say Hansen has to run the tank dry, just keep focusing on his race on those lap times, and he might be sad because it looks like he's holding the gap to Brady Lubinow. He's matching his pace, and that at the moment is all he needs to do.
That is important. Lubinow was catching, and that's kind of stalled out. Ludicky was catching as well. He's still catching, but he was catching at a greater rate. Now it's kind of evening out right now. And no, Corey Peters has entered the pit lane. Here we go now. Everybody in the top 6 has the pit.
I was just going to mention, Peters was kind of close to Allen, but it looks like he's now on his way out on that bright green Porsche. And well, we're just going to have to take a look if he's going to be coming out close to anyone. Yes, he is. Looks like Brunnemer is close, so that small mistake on the exit of 5, that cost him 1 position after the pit stops.
Man, you are kicking yourself if you are Chris Brunnemer for making that simple mistake, because it truly is. Not to say that this is easy by any means. This is a tough track and car combination. Racing is tough, and that's not easy by any means. But just missing the apex, that's definitely something that he could have avoided. And ultimately, he is now instead of the first car, who's made their pit stop, he's now second.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure his not lifeline. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be kicking himself as hard, because luckily for him, he has this absolutely monster of a straight to kind of catch back. If that was Oran Park, that might have been a different reaction, but look at this. He's just catching. Now the question is, will Peters go defensive? Looks like he won't, so Chris Brunnemer is going to be standing down the inside of turn 10. Peters has absolutely no response other than just stay back and trying to respond at the exit of 10B, but well, not close enough. Chris Brunnemer makes the move cleanly and very bravely, and he looks confident after that mistake.
It now looks more or less, what could have been. Where was Peters running? And you gotta, maybe add 5 seconds to where he was running, and that maybe where Brunnemer could have ended up when everything cycles out. But to no avail right now. Brunnemer holding station in 7th. Still the first driver who's come down pit lane, but I just don't see him getting around Hansen, Lubinow, and Ludicky.
Yeah, might not be coming that close, as looks like Hansen right now might be struggling a bit with the tires.
Top 2 are in.
Looks like the top 2, and Nick Ludicky elects to stay out, so he might have a bit more fuel in his tank. And well, I'm not pretty sure if you caught that, but Lubinow caught Hansen a lot in the pit entry, so this could get interesting.
You saw what happened there. The brake lights lit up once again for Hansen after he passed the cone, so maybe he came in a little too hot.
Well, right now, he looks like everybody has to maximize their pit cycle, essentially. Braking as late as possible, carrying as much speed as possible. As Brady Lubinow looks like he's exiting. Well, he's ahead of Hansen. Oh, Hansen might have a penalty.
I knew that looked a little different when his brake lights lit up. He definitely sped on pit road, James Hansen. And
oh, that hurts.
That's gonna ruin any chance he had of holding off Lubinow and Ludicky.
And that might have been the only chance that maybe Lubinow had to kind of hold back Ludicky, because Ludicky was flying, And as soon as Lubenow got into the slipstream of Hansen, he might have had that extra help from the slipstream, but right now it's going to be between him and Ludicky, the kind of dogfight there we're kind of expecting all throughout the season.
Yep, and James Hansen is now rolling after a 51-second pit stop, where Brady Lubenow only, as race leader Nick Ludicky comes in, Brady Lubenow only had a 9.5-second pit stop.
Yeah, that's the difference that you kind of get, and unfortunately for him, I mean, not race over, he's still on, looks like 9th place, but some drivers ahead might take penalties as well. You know, you never know if the leader of the race done it. It's open books for everybody, but the eyes right now are on the leader Nick Ludicky, as Curtis Jones looks like he makes his way onto the pits, and looks like David Flanagan is going to be leading off a lap here, so that's kind of nice to see.
Ludicky down and away, a 9.1-second pit stop. Where's Lubenow? There's Lubenow. Where does Ludicky come out in relation to Lubenow? Getting up to speed here. They're going to merge right there. We got a battle on our hands, boys.
Look at that gap. I mean, Nick just did a fantastic lap time. He was over a second behind, 1.5 I'm pretty sure. And well, look at him, less than 0.3 of a second. So we do have a battle on our hands. I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing Nick getting past on the back straight. But the question is, can Brady kind of hold him off or stick with him to try and get it back?
So, Nick Ludicky came into today's race with 7 races and 7 checkered flags. It came down to 8 checkered flags for Ludicky, and now 1 for Lubenow. Does Ludicky go to 9? Does Lubenow take a second? We're going to find out in these final 10.5 minutes. The fight for the essential win. David Flanagan working his way through 10A and 10B. He is the race leader right now. I can't imagine he will cycle out still as the race leader, because he's only 9 seconds up the road, and he's just entering pit lane now, and he's taking it very easy.
Yeah, he's definitely not taking any chances, as these two, I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing Nick taking chances at this moment in time, and Brady definitely as well. As you can see, both drivers taking an incredible line. It looks like carrying a lot of speed. Looks like Nick carried a bit too much speed on the exit of 12, and that just got him a kiss with the gravel and kind of killed his momentum, as these two, as you can see, just, did you see how close Brady was to that outside curb? And that's the difference there. That just shows how much he's pushing.
Well, here it is. This is the battle for the race win with 9.5 minutes left, and it's who wants it more, who can defend better, who can overtake better, you know. And oh, that's gonna be a bad exit for Lubenow. Here comes Ludicky off of 5.
That was a small guess apex missed, and look at Ludicky going on the outside. He's gonna be taking the long way, but he's gonna be shoved off wide. He's gonna be taking the wider line. They don't door bank. They're going side by side through turn 6 and turn 7 as they now drag race essentially up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, and down the hill again.
Drag race for the race lead here at Road Atlanta with less than 9 minutes remaining. Ludicky, Lubenow, who wants this race win more? Into turn 10A, who can outbrake who?
They're going side by side. Ludicky kind of locks up. He's going to be getting the switchback. This is the first time we're going to be seeing it working. Is it? Looks like Lubenow might just close the door. He's going to be leaving that gap. He's going to be running wide. No, perfect landing. Wow. That's just defense.
Well, that was one lap around here. Let's send him around another, like 6, 7 more times?
I'm definitely down for that. I'm pretty sure Brady wants this race over as quickly as possible. I'm pretty sure he wants this dogfight as much as we do, but man, I don't wish I was on his seat.
Man, Lubenow fighting for his life. What it would mean to him to snatch a feature victory away from from Nick Ludicky. But here we go. Lubenow, much better exit out of the turn 5, but does that hurt him out of turn 7?
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to mention, he got a great exit, but unfortunately for him, that might be his downfall. He essentially has to park the car on the apex to try and unsaddle Ludicky, but well, it looks like he just got a perfect run, and Nick did the same, but the advantage it goes for him because right now he can choose his line, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be going defensive on the run down into turn 10.
Here we go once again. This, again, the only battle on the track, actually. BC Voigt and Chris Brunner are getting a little spicy, but again, the battle for the lead with the utmost importance right now and the closest And Nick Ludicky, once again, another lap. He was not able to find a way around Brady Lubenow.
Looks like Brady Lubenow did essentially what he needed to do, but look at the run that Nick got on the exit. That's the advantage of essentially taking the racing line. And that's going to be forcing Brady Lubenow to go defensive. Now, can Nick force his way around the outside? No, look at that switchback. Look at that switchback.
Up the hill.
Oh, yeah, he got the run. He's going to be taking the inside line into turn 3. No, Brady goes defensive, but that's going to hurt him on the exit, but he just nails it. So Brady is doing an amazing defensive work. He's just putting his car where he needs it to basically see just how much he's pushing it. And well, if he can keep this up, he's definitely going to have a shot at that race win. And as you can see, just taking absolutely no risk. But look at the run that Nick once again got.
Up to the double right-hander once again. Lubenow. Oh, he's going to go round!
No, a carbon copy move on what he did essentially on lap 1 of... Oh, that is just so close. Curtis Jones moves into 2nd place, but once again, no, those tires are steaming hot at this point in time. And that's just something we've seen from these Porsches since round 1 in Nürburgring. If you just push them a bit too hard, the rear end is essentially just going to give out on you. And unfortunately for him, it did on the worst corner possible, I'd say, turn 6, and he drops all the way from 1st to 3rd, and we kind of lost that race-winning battle.
Yeah, that was... Man, but you know what? I think it speaks volumes to just how good Ludicky is. That he was, you know, fast enough. He was pressuring Lubenow to make that mistake. And
yeah, as you can see, just the rear end of the car, just those tires are saying, yeah, no, I'm not making that corner. And that rejoin, those reflexes from Curtis Jones. I mean, that's kind of a dangerous rejoin. Obviously, he might be frustrated, and well, after that, a small mistake as well. But yeah, you just got a feel for the guy.
We're gonna ride on board with Brady Lubenow and see what he was doing from the cockpit of his number 11 Porsche.
If you saw, he was kind of getting some understeering to turn 5, so those tires might have already been overstressed, I'm gonna say. And yeah, this was kind of the tipping point. He does a fantastic job to save it on the grass, though. That's amazing, but unfortunately, that rejoin, that's just a bit too dangerous. But luckily for him, Curtis was on point, and look at that, just dabbing on the throttle, and that was enough to spin it around. So those tires are steamy hot, and unfortunately for him, he cannot just go back to pushing. He has to take it easy to pull off those tires, and yeah.
Well, the only, I guess, other bit of good news the only good news for Brady Lubenow is if he can keep the car straight, he's not looking to lose any more spots. But it's a small consolation prize for having the pace this weekend at Road Atlanta. And we saw in qualifying, when the gap was 0.2 of a second between Ludicky and Lubenow, I said we might be set up for a great show today. I didn't expect it to be that great of a show. Wish it would have been sought through to the end. And I mean, it's still not over. We still have, 4 minutes left. But Lubenow's chances in this race may very well be after a valiant effort. Nonetheless, an amazing effort from Brady Lubenow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he just showed everybody that he can defend even on one of the most difficult tracks to defend. I mean, that run that you get from the back straight, the slipstream, everything, just kind of nearly impossible to overtake. And he held the guy that has won each and every single race up until heat race number 2. So he did a fantastic job. Definitely, he has to look on the positive side, even though it hurts seeing that win kind of slip away in that 2nd place also. But you got to take the highs from the highs. You got to learn from the lows, but you can't punish yourself too much.
Never know. I mentioned it once already, but BC Voigt came in another time down the pit lane, I believe. That time for his probably fuel service. The first time was probably just for the penalty, which I can't imagine why he wouldn't have taken fuel at that point, especially if Brunnemer, Ruderbusch, and Gerges felt they could have taken fuel at that point. But maybe that just was not on the mind of BC Voigt early in the race. Man, imagine that. Just the smallest of mistakes off the grid, and you're looking at second to last.
Yeah, that's crazy how a race can quickly turn on its head. And yeah, unfortunately for them, it just kind of goes from high to extreme low. But I guess we do have kind of a battle. Oh no, that's the leader, unfortunately. I was thinking, oh, we're gonna have a battle, but it looks like Nick Ludicky is just once again lapping everybody. But yeah, unfortunately for BC Void, the race just quickly got turned into his head, and well, Nick Ludicky once again just performing on par on what we would expect.
That's actually, besides the wrecked vehicle of Wade Hayes, the first lapped vehicle today, BC Void, and you know BC Void had a penalty, so you know, whoa, that was some grass kicked up by Nick Ludicky.
And that just shows what we mentioned in qualifying. Now the grid was kind of also close, and we saw not a lot of mistakes other than essentially the lap 1 incident, and that's just kind of what you get. You know, you don't see the leader just kind of lapping all the way up into 5th place as it was last week, I'm pretty sure.
Oh!
But just as I mentioned that, that's just commentator's curse. I gotta stop saying that. Mikhail Bush, I'm so sorry. And unfortunately, it looks like he made a mistake on turn 4 in the S's.
And we're gonna go back and see it as we are approaching the final lap. I think we're actually gonna get one more lap in this race, depending on what Ludicky decides to do on the rest of this lap. But here's the replay with Mikhail Ruderbush up the hill after turn 1 up to turn 2. And oh, Brunnemer was off the track, and Ruderbush down the hill.
Yeah, interesting. Brunnemer lost. Oh, he just kind of got into the grass all by himself. Maybe he was looking at Brunnemer, and unfortunately for him, that's a really, really odd mistake because he did that to himself. It wasn't the car, and Brunnemer, again, he was on the grass as you mentioned. He may have gotten wide into turn 1, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see what happened to Chris Brunnemer as well, the other part of this incident, if you will. And I promise we'll get back up front. But Brunnemer, here he comes off of turn number 12, all by himself as well.
Yeah, looks like on the end of the race, everybody's just kind of trying to push and make it home. As you can see, he brakes. Looks like he just catches. No, not on turn 1. So kind of weird. He may just got loose on the braking as the car just. Here? No.
Oh.
No, he just kind of does it all okay. I'm pretty sure it was on another lap. As Mikhail Ruderbush, once again, we saw the mistake.
Potentially, or it might have been somebody else's car. Or might have gone back a lap too many. Probably right. Yeah, I went back a lap too many. That is okay. We'll get back to the action here at Road Atlanta up front because Nick Ludicky has started the final lap of this race.
Well, at this point in time, it might just be a walk in the park for him. Over 9 seconds, nearly 10 seconds at this moment in time. Pretty sure he got the fastest lap of the race so far again. As he's closing on David Flanagan, unfortunately for him, he won't lap David Flanagan, and David will have another lap to try and catch Gergis. But, well, what a race from Nick. Just kind of what we expect. Kind of got robbed from the battle for the lead, but pretty sure he's going to be gutted with that, but not gutted at all with winning once again for the 9th time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Nick Ludicky coming down. He is no longer gone 100% on the season in terms of checkered flags taken. But as far as feature events, Nick Ludicky is now 4 for 4. He will win here at Michelin Raceway's Road Atlanta.
A fantastic drive from Curtis Jones as well. Kind of went under the radar. And, well, P2 for him. Well done as well.
Brady Lubenow will bring it home in P3 after the valiant effort he put on, led a lot of laps today. Jimmy Allen. What a job Jimmy Allen has done today as well. A brilliant starting spot, and he held on to it for the most part. A P4 for Jimmy Allen.
Yeah, exactly. These drivers kind of running under the radar as Corey Peters finishes off in P5, just running under the radar and doing an excellent race. That's just kind of sometimes what you want as a driver, as James Hansen will be finishing off in P6. But the night goes to Nick once again, but this time it wasn't 100% perfect.
Let's see where Nick is here. Where is this? This is, I guess, one of the alternate layouts here at Road Atlanta. That's he took the club circuit. He took the shortcut there off of 5.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's taking a small detour back into Victory Lane.
Yep, trying to get to the front straight. We're trying to see if he's going to do any celebratory donuts before we go to break here. But Well, we'll catch him on the flip side anyway. We will get a shot. I think he's also maybe waiting for everybody to come on by so he doesn't interfere with any battles. But Nick Ludicky, for the 4th time in 4 races, the feature race winner here in the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series. And now everybody's caught back up here with Curtis Jones and Brady Lubin. Now we're going to go to break. We'll be right back with post-race coverage here of the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series from Road Atlanta.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome back, race fans, to Michelin Raceway's Road Atlanta here in Brazelton, Georgia. And after a phenomenal show we saw today, it was once again Nick Ludicky with the victory once again. but not without drama. Nick Ludicky had a quite the drive to get this one. Nick, tell us about it.
Yeah, that was extremely chaotic. So exact opposite of what I had to say in Hockenheim. Following that incident on lap 1, I couldn't exactly tell if I had damage, and I actually considered pitting early to figure out whether or not I did, but decided to stay out and ended up making it work by some combination of luck and just raw pace. We managed to make our way back up and catch the win.
So, a lot of talking points in tonight's race, in just the feature race, not even the heats, but the feature race, the 6-car pileup on lap 1. From your perspective, what you see happen?
Well, I saw someone tried to send it up the inside in the right-handed kink, completely missed the apex. So I was like, okay, they're going to spin out wide. We'll just take it up the inside. And then a couple other cars got tangled up, and next thing you know, I was a part of it and had made contact with the wall, made contact with another car, and just as quickly as I could got back out on track and out of it, so that way I didn't have to pass those drivers that had also gotten tangled up in the wreck.
Fair enough. And then they're putting the pressure on Brady Luba now. With 10 minutes left, you came out right behind him. Did you know you had it, or did you know just because how fast he was and him getting the sprint race win there in sprint race 2, this was going to be a tough battle?
I knew it was going to be a tough battle. This track is extremely hard to just get in front of someone and drive away with a massive long back straightaway. And additionally, attempting to manage the tires while they were already completely shredded was quite a challenge in and of itself. And I'm sure you guys saw, especially on the last, once he did make his mistake, and I got out front, I'm sure you saw I was bobbling the car coming up over the hill towards the last turn and really all over the track, pretty much driving it sideways like a drift car, but we still managed to keep it in one piece and brought it home in the end.
Absolutely. And now once again, I know you're no longer going 100% on every checkered flag of the season, but for main events, still 4 for 4. Next week at Laguna Seca, how do you feel about going 100%?
I'm excited for Laguna Seca. It's going to be an interesting challenge. That's a track that is not very forgiving. You know, you have to be on the edge at all times, but if you just go a bit past and you catch the dirt on the outside of a corner or on entry, it can end your race in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. And now again, with the crazy performance that you had to put on today to get this one, still, dominant in the point standings and all, but who do you have to thank for your run today here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta?
This week I'm going to give this one to my father. I don't know if you guys had noticed the livery change with the Hanek Auto logo on the side. That is my father's auto repair company. He was the one that got me started up in racing, taught me all of the basics, and got me the connections with the people to push me further into the sport. 8 years of karting can be a massive expense, sacrificing time, money, all the stress that goes along with it. So I have to really put my hands together for him, because I wouldn't be here or have done any event motorsports-wise if it wasn't for him.
Unfortunately, there was issues with the paint schemes loading in, so we don't see it. But thank you for at least bringing light to it and shouting it out and getting it out there. Of course, we want to, just not able to today. But of course, congratulations on the win, Nick. Again, crazy performance from you to get this one. But nonetheless, another feature win for the 16. And best of luck to you next week at Laguna Seca.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And driver of the number 16 Porsche Cup Car, Nick Ludicky, most dominant driver on the season. No longer 100%. He lost that to Brady Lube now, actually. Let's go ahead and we'll bring in actually second place finisher Curtis Jones, because that a phenomenal run for Curtis to bring it home and get it done. Started 8th up to 2nd. JP, you're standing by with him.
So Curtis, obviously a fantastic race from you. That lap 1 incident was crazy, and after that he kind of flew under my radar, but when it counted, you were there. So first, talk us through your first 2 sprint races.
So the first 2 sprint races, they went decently well. Had a couple incidents here and there. Of course, I had an incident with Mikkel that was unfortunate, going into turn 5 at the bottom of the hill. I think they went decently well, and it kind of prepared me for taking care of the tires because I didn't have a ton of competition that I was really racing really hard in the sprint races, other than maybe 1 or 2 laps. So I got a feel for just kind of pacing myself a little bit, and I got 2 decent results out of that. I think I got a 3rd and a 5th or something like that. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely took some major points to your championship standings. Obviously, that's going to help you all out. Now, obviously, I guess one of the main talking points of the feature race was that lap 1 incident. What was your general view on that?
Yeah, so I was on the outside going into 3, and with it being blind and such like that, and everybody's bunched up, it gets hairy. There was a little bit of contact on my right. Of course, the cars kind of pushed me into the service road there. Really, it's not even a service road. That's part of the track with the little chicane there. But I had to take that, and I had to take the slowdown too, which was brutal. I was, I think, last or potentially last there for a little bit, and then just kind of settled my nerves a little bit, and I had a clear way to fight back. So it certainly gave me an opportunity to charge a little bit.
And charge you did. You were as low as 9th place and obviously found yourself 2nd. But I guess one of the big moments on the feature race was that crazy avoiding reaction that you had from Brady Lubenow between turn 6 and turn 7. Just did your heart skip a beat? Because mine certainly did watching that.
Certainly did. I seen him coming back on the track, and when we're driving on the surface of the sun out there like it was today, the track was around like 40C the whole time. You're kind of on the limit the entire time, and it just puts more emphasis on having to plan more corners ahead and position the car and be really smooth on the inputs. And when something like that jumps out in front of you, especially at these temps and with this car and such like that, you're just doing what you can. And yeah, certainly it was a little sketchy, but fortunately Brady was able to get the car turned back in a little bit and made a way for me.
Well, luckily for you, I mean, I'm not pretty sure how you did that, because when I tried, it didn't go so well. But looking forward to next week at Laguna Seca, do you think you can repeat your result? I mean, 2nd place, I'm pretty sure you're happy with that. Could have been one better, but do you think you can repeat that?
Yeah, I don't know. Laguna Seca has always been tough for me. I don't find myself being super strong there. I'm gonna put in the time and see what I can do with it. Road Atlanta is kind of my home track per se, because I grew up in the panhandle of Florida, so it was about a 5-hour drive away, and that's where I would do a lot of my track days when I lived in that area. So I've got a lot of time there, and it's kind of like last season in the GT3. I really wanted to win the Nürburgring or get a good result. Of course, I didn't win it, but I took care of my tires and I did well there. Had a good result considering all my other races weren't that great. This is the one that I really wanted this season. So, it's great. It's the best result that I could ask for. Nick is Nick is something else as far as pace and race, racecraft and such like that. So I consider this a win for me personally.
Well, I'm happy as long as you're happy. I mean, 2nd place against Nick, I would be happy as well. And who do you have to thank for this amazing result, since this is pretty much your home race?
Oh man, I gotta thank my girlfriend who's making dinner right now, Samantha. I gotta thank my kitties, Tyrone and Biggie. Yeah, and that's about it.
I'm pretty sure they're all happy with your result. I hope you have a great dinner, and I hope to talk to you next week.
Yeah, man. Y'all take it easy. Bye.
Well, that was Curtis Jones, 2nd place finisher on the feature race, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Emerson, for the leader for the most part of the race, but unfortunately, 3rd place finisher Brady Lubenow.
Yeah, I'm still happy. I had a lot of that.
Go for it, man.
Oh, ask away.
I was gonna say, for sure, it looked like you were having to put in a lot of time to catch James Hansen there. I believe he sped there on pit entry right in front of you. That ultimately ended that. But had he not sped, do you think he would have been able to hold his advantage over you, or do you think you would have been able to get James Hansen?
Well, I don't know if you gathered this. Me and James are pretty good friends, and we try to give each other a lot of crap, if you will. My whole goal pitting with him was I wanted to make him nervous, And unfortunately, he did speed. I didn't want that to happen. But if he didn't speed, yeah, it would have been great. It would have been a great battle. I think he probably would have came out ahead of me. Came out right behind him, and then next lap, you saw Nick come around right behind me, and it would have been probably going 3 wide going into the chicane or something, and I don't know, maybe we all would have died, and it would have been, not very fun to watch, but
that would have been something. Unfortunately, what did happen was, well, what wasn't unfortunate was the amazing battle, all the switchbacks between you and Nick, and then coming down to turn 6, it looked like the rear end just broke traction. But what happened from your point of view?
Yeah, Nick is fast. It's very hard to keep him behind, and yeah, I was pushing really hard. I saw on the relative he was gaining on me going into that turn, and I was kind of like, is he gonna dive it up the middle? And I was like, he'll probably wait, but I want to maintain as much as I can, and I unfortunately just went in there a little too fast, and yeah, the rears broke loose and off the track I go, and then I almost took out Curtis. That was terrifying. I did not mean to do that.
He mentioned that as well in his interview. Very thankful that you two didn't make contact there off of that. But today, obviously, you had the pace to be up there, whether first or second. But today looked like just a really good day for you overall. Was it the track? Was there any sort of prep you put into this week that really set you up for a great run today?
Yeah, I love this track. It's really fun to drive. Unfortunately, all of us had to deal with the really hot temperatures. I kind of threw all of us for a loop. But I guess I had the really bad race the first one, and then started really at the front for the second heat, so that helped out in that sense. But I'm just glad the third heat was really fun battling.
Right. Were you? Did you have any view of, I guess, the major pileup there up the S's on the first lap?
Yeah. I saw the initial carnage with, I think it was like Corey and Chris, and I immediately started backing off. I was like thinking about trying to go too wide with Nick there at turn 3, just make it interesting, throw him off his game, and then I saw that and I was like, I was already on the fence about going too wide. I'm not going to do it now, and thank goodness I didn't, because then I think it was Mikkel and Christian got into it, and Nick got caught up in that, and I just barely made it by.
Fair enough. A great run today at Road Atlanta. Season finale next week at Laguna Seca, though. Any chance of you making some hay there, or how do you feel about?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta beat Nick, right? Straight up, not just starting near the front. I gotta beat him in the feature. So that's my goal. Coming for you, Nick.
You love to hear it. It's gonna definitely put some more heat on what can go on next Monday evening at Laguna Seca. But Brady, great run once again here tonight at Road Atlanta. Who do you have to shout out? Who do you have to thank for the speed tonight?
I always got to thank my cat. He supports me so much in this endeavor. And then my parents, of course. They like to watch this, and I enjoy when they watch it.
Absolutely. Well, once again, congratulations on the podium and the sprint race win and the laps led and all that. A lot of momentum heading into next week at Laguna Seca. We'll see if you can follow through on going up there and duking it out with Nick. Best of luck to you in that endeavor.
Thank you.
Right on. Driver of the number 11, Porsche Brady Lube. Now, JP, what do you make of that?
Well, definitely a heartbreak for Brady, but he definitely had the pace tonight, and he definitely had the defensive skills. So if he can kind of move his way next week into Laguna Seca, that's a definitely more difficult track to overtake, and definitely will be more exciting to see those two battling. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week, and hopefully Brady can upset us. I mean, impress us once again.
Yeah, he said it's gonna happen, so we'll have to hold him to it. Let's go ahead through the race results for tonight's race. And of course, Nick Ludicky with the win. 9.8 seconds up the road from Curtis Jones. Brady Lube now comes home third. Jimmy Allen fourth. Corey Peters fifth. JP?
James Henson comes home in 6th. Chris Brunnemer in 7th. Mikkel Rudebusch in 8th. Christian Gerges in 9th. And 10th place goes to David Flanagan. The whole top 10 not getting lapped. I'm pretty sure that's a first in this series so far.
Yeah.
NBC Void finished off the only car lap down, and Wade Hayes unfortunately did not make it through the first lap.
Yeah, it was something. That first lap pile up was crazy, and then Wade Hayes, something amiss coming through turn 5. A lot of drivers went around. 8 drivers in trouble on that first lap. I thought this race was going to be very difficult to, I guess, run through the next 29 or so minutes, but there was still action from start to finish. The amazing, catching James Hansen, and the battle between Lubenow and Ludicky, and what it eventually came down to, Ludicky just keeping on the track instead of Lubenow, but still an amazing show. JP, final thoughts.
Amazing race. I love this racetrack. It always provides good racing, for the better or for the worse. Unfortunately, tonight was a heartbreak on a feature race, but we got a new race winner. I guess, that's a good point to take out from Brady. And yeah, unfortunately, next week is going to be the last round for these cars and these drivers, so I'm expecting a lot of drivers to put everything on the line, and well, hopefully we can see more great racing like we saw tonight.
Well, I do have to say, these Pit Stop TV broadcasts would not be possible without these loving and caring partners like Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. Use promo code PitStopTV at checkout for 10% off of your wall-mounted sound art device. By Race Pace. Pick up pace with Race Pace, a community-driven setup shop and driver development program. By Permanent Makeup in Maine. You deserve the best care that money can buy. Whiplash Media, the official graphic and camera provider of Pit Stop TV. And BAM Racing Videos. By a race fan for the racing community. And man, just a wild turn of events here at Road Atlanta. I was not expecting this kind of action. From a 12-car field, but then again, this track, it'll just kind of provide that. But that's going to conclude our coverage tonight of the Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series. We at Pit Stop TV thank you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. The channel stays active weekly. You can catch a variety of racing throughout the coming days. But I guess variety isn't the right word, because the next 2 days we have 1,000 miles of open wheel racing around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. JP, tomorrow night we have the Newark Indianapolis 500, and Wednesday we have the IORL Indianapolis 500. 2 endurance events for us, endurance events for the drivers, if you will, in the Dallara IR18. JP, 1,000 miles to Indianapolis. What are you feeling about those?
That's definitely going to be an amazing run up to the Indy 500. I cannot wait. I absolutely love that racetrack, even though it's only 4 corners. Something not usual for a road racer, but it's just, as the name is, it's the greatest spectacle in racing. It's just so nice seeing those Dallara Indy cars just running across the Indianapolis circuit. It's just going to be a blast. I'm pretty sure no one wants to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. What else you don't want to miss? Next Monday, once again, our usual doubleheader. For the final time, it'll be a doubleheader. We'll have the BRP Pro Dirt Late Models, race number 7 on that season at Weed Sports Speedway. And of course, this time, next week, we will be crowning a Pacific Challenge Porsche Cup Series champion at Laguna Seca. And Brady Lubenow says he's going to bring the fight to Nick Ludicky, at least for that race victory. We'll see if he can make that true. But make sure you follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/pitstoptv, on Twitter at pitstoptv_, on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/pit_stop_tv, and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/pitstoptv1, and on Instagram at pit_stop_tv. And for all of us at Pit Stop TV, JP Costa joining me on the mic this evening. Trey Shuttlesworth out around the track doing our social media coverage, taking beautiful pictures of these Porsche Cup cars for our Facebook and our Twitter feeds for all of you to stay in tune. If you're not able to watch the broadcast, feel free to go back and just see what we had to say about all the action tonight. And myself, I'm Emerson Arden. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.